Then when the market breaks previous day's low on next day, shorting directly and invalidation point is VWAP. Rather than waiting for a pullback to VWAP, direct short as context is in line. You can go and do that. Depends on multiple things. Usually, whenever you have such sideways markets, the breakouts and breakdowns, they tend to fail. So here the market is in a sideways move, poor trade facilitation. There is a potential breakdown here, it fails, another attempt fails. This can keep happening. So why I am too keen on waiting for a pullback is to manage the risk. You need to understand, I am not trying to do anything else. The only thing I'm trying to do is to minimize or reduce the risk. Why? Let's say you short here at the open itself and you get a pullback, you will be put in a difficult situation. You see this big down bar, you sell, you again get a pullback, you'll be put in a difficult situation. Now, what is the situation? In the hindsight, you will see, okay, this is not a big pullback, all right? This is okay, let's say this is 50 points, 100 points, I can handle that much. But you really don't know whether it is going to end at 50 points or 100 points. If this just continues, then what will you do? If it decides to test this HVN, then what will you do? This VWAP, then what will you do? This is a big stop loss. So now, contrast it with what I'm trying to suggest is, let's say, let it play out, come back down, pull back to VWAP. Now you have, let's say you are done, you want to short here. What is your stop loss? This VWAP. It is very, very clear. I'm not exactly VWAP, but let's say we start trading above VWAP, you get out of your position. So you still have a bigger risk, but it is a very, very clear risk. You know where exactly you have to keep a stop loss and why you want to exit. Again, this pullback starts to happen. You get a down bar. Let's say you decide to sell here. If you're using VSA, you get multiple signs of weakness. You decide to go short. Again, you're close to the VWAP. You can put your stop loss there. Not all days will give you pullback to VWAP. Sometimes, the trend is strong. It won't pull back to VWAP. Again, here, when we were analyzing the markets, what I said, if it goes down, pulls back to VWAP, sell. Why? Because, this is the pullback. This is a very small risk and very clearly defined risk. So that is my objective in waiting for a pullback to VWAP. Even though the context is in line, obviously on a shorter time frame, you are bound to get some pullback. So you will get good opportunities to enter. Okay, further says, when a person understanding says business is completed and sharp moves likely, my observations are pullback is not much likely till the VWAP as business is completed, keeping VWAP as stop loss. If you are aware of the risk and you are able to manage the risk, then there is nothing wrong in your strategy. If you have a very good reading on context and you believe that, okay, there's no point waiting here, you need to get into the trade as soon as possible, you go ahead. There is absolutely no issue with that. Why I suggest to wait for a pullback to VWAP is, for a retail trader, according to me, especially during beginning years, what is more important logically? For a retail trader, according to himself, missing a trade is a crime. But ideally, for a retail trader, missing a trade is not a problem at all. What is a problem is getting into bad trades. So when I ask you to wait till it pulls back to VWAP, for a beginner retail trader, what happens is his risk is so small that even if it goes and hits his stop loss, he is not discouraged too much. And there is a very high probability that those trades will work out, and that again gives him more confidence. But if you have good reading of context, I am not going to stop you. I cannot stop you. So it's not for me to tell you when you should take a trade, when you should not. Okay. This course, this whole co-trading workshop is not designed for that. I'm not going to tell you, okay, you buy here, you sell here, you should not buy here, you should not sell here. What I'm going to do is just make you aware of the risks and make you aware of the opportunities. Now, if you can grab those opportunities and you can take your trades and you are putting VWAP as a stop loss, you can put latest swing high as a stop loss, whatever works for you. As long as it is working, there is no issue that I have. But what I try to do here is to give you an approach which is safe and is applicable for traders who are not only experienced but also who are beginners. All right. So even if an experienced trader applies this, it's not going to hurt his chances of making money consistently. But this is also suitable for a beginner. So that's my point of view here. All right.